Hello everybody and welcome to the Bessemer Lake Erie in HO scale. It has been a hot minute since the last update. I got a few things we're going to look at today. I don't know how much it's going to look like I got done. There's a lot of hidden work that's happened here. But before we get too far, let me point out a really cool addition to the layout. These really sweet bar stools. Got the Bessemer logo in it. Got some spike cross-section heads. Real nice, real solid swivel. Got these from Bessemer Mike. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Facebook as Bessemer Mike. I'll drop his email in the description here. He makes these, so if you would like some for yourself, go ahead and reach out to him. Real nice. So thanks, Mike, for these. Real nice addition to the layout room, and pretty comfy. Next thing, as long as I'm giving thanks to people, thanks to Mark Monroe. Got a nice pile of Bessemer memorabilia from him, including a lot of really great old pictures, and I love the old pictures. Me living up here in Girard. Oops, boy, the glare is just perfect. These nice pictures of the depot in Girard, really nice. Just tons of stuff from him. That was a great find. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was I picked up this copy of Ghost Rails. This is all about the Western Allegheny. And this book is just incredible. A lot of the pictures in here I've never seen anywhere else. So I'm just going to open to a random page. You know, look at that. Pennsy steam locomotive going to the tunnel on the WA. How cool is that? Yeah, just a really cool book. A lot of great information in here, and I don't know how often I mention it on the channel here, but this entire layout almost was a single deck layout that was just going to be the Western Allegheny in the Pennsy steam years. So layouts that almost were. I think it's kind of cool. Not unhappy with the choices I've made. Really enjoying the layout I'm building. All right, so that's kind of it for updates. Other thing, you'll notice I did rearrange furniture down here a little bit. I turned the couch sideways, and part of what that did was make this aisle, you know, kind of section off this part of the layout a little bit. I think it flows a little bit better. It opened this space up a little bit more. I just think it works. Did clean up the layout room finally quite a bit, and had an open house last Saturday. I had a little over 50 people show up with my final tally. Good mix of model railroad people and my marching band people. And that was just a fun day, getting to see everybody stop in and visit the layout and comment on the updates since the last time they were here. All right, so let's look at things that have been done. I've been working here in the engine terminal. I want to keep working here for a little bit. I did go ahead and get the track painted. That took quite a bit of time, just masking around the buildings and trying to be careful that way. I did also paint the main line out around the roundhouse here. And then, of course, all the tracks through the terminal. A couple things I'll point out. The color I'm using on the main line is just Rust-Oleum flat brown. I like it because it has a little bit of that iron ore tint to it. And if you've been around the Bessemer at all, you know a lot of ore falls out of those cars and kind of starts staining the track. And then all the secondary tracks and everything else is just the camouflage brown that lots of people use. So kind of using that two-tone there just to differentiate the main line. Yeah. That's what I have to say about that. I'll also give this plug for fast tracks and building your own switches. One of the things that I really enjoy about building my own switches and doing the fast tracks thing is, they're really a much higher quality product. And one of the things I'll see is when people paint track, they'll come in and, tape over the points and talk about, not being able to get paint on the points. And the reason for that is on a commercial switch, that's how the rails get power. They come over and they just touch the rail, and that, makes the electrical connection. When you're in Fast Track's world, you just paint everything because everything is soldered. You don't have to worry about, a little paint getting on the end of your points there. You don't want to cake it up, obviously, and start having dimensional problems because you got real thick paint, but you're not going to have any electrical problems just because you got paint on there, because that's not how these switches work at all. So I really like that. I think it's just another nice plug. All right, so what I really got done was building these control panels, these final control panels. I got them both done. I got them both fully working. I think I just kind of had them roughed in the last video. Made these on the laser. And everything is fully working. Kind of can see what I did here. I got an on-off switch that kills the whole control for the turntable, so I can have the layout on, and if I'm not using the turntable, I don't have to just leave the control on. And switches to kill the power to all the roundhouse tracks. You can kind of see I put the outline of the roundhouse in there, so you sort of know where it is versus the garden tracks, versus the tracks that run through the the shops over here. You'll notice there's no power that shut them off because I actually have those in the other panel. So yeah, so that's how that's working here. So thought, why not? Let's go ahead and show working these a little bit. I've got the 256 working on coming back onto the turntable here. This is a Proto 080. I've got two of these 3D printed smoke box doors for them to center mount the headlight. Try to make them a little bit more proto that way. No pun intended. TCS in these, of course. Alright, so now we're going to put it in the machine shop, and you can kind of see on the layout here, there's the end of the roundhouse, there's the garden track, there's the machine shop. You can kind of see that here too, so I can see that the machine shop is stall 20. So if I just select this and scroll down to 20, and I want to put the head into the turntable to it, so I'll just press head. And there the turntable will swing into position. I don't know how much room I got in there because I already got the other 080 on this track. So we'll just get it off the table. Oops. Must have caught there for just a second. There we go. All right. And then you can see down here on the panel, I can just come down and turn that off. And that's all there is to the turntable. All right. So now, walk down here to the diesel end. We can imagine that this set of SD7s just came in off the road. Uncouple from their train. And I'm thinking kind of what we're doing here, this will be the hostler job on operations night. Make sure I got that over good. Hopefully got that over good, and we'll find out here in a second. I'm going to just move the SD7s to the ready track here. Or maybe they could be temporarily set out of the way until the hostler is ready to move them through servicing. Okay, now that they're in that track, I can come down here and I know that that is ready too. So I'm going to shut that off. And now we're going to take out these Rapido U25s. I got one sitting here, the 2502. The 2503 is sitting here in the diesel shop. And we'll talk more about these really beautiful Rapido units here in a minute. Tow our way out onto the transfer table. Transfer table is working really good. You didn't see my video on building the transfer table. It's probably worth watching if you're thinking about building one. You can see, I don't know if you can see, a lot of my diesel power parked away in there. It's all working out pretty good. All right, so there's that guy. So we can come over here to our table, and I can pick which track I want to go to. I want to go to track 13. Okay. Now, we will just go ahead and consist these two guys together. And I am consisting using the TCS throttle. It is really stupid easy just to pick up and drop a locomotive. Takes just a second, like you saw there, and then the throttle is smart enough to kind of know how the engines are arranged. Can't say enough nice things about these throttles. Just about everybody in the club's got one now. Is it going to make? I've got my doubts. Nope. No, let's find my stick. out of hands. There we go. You guys know how this channel works. I never have enough hands. All right. There we go. All right. And of course, I think I derailed that car as I did that. I did. All right. Now we're in business. All right. Let's get these out of here and just talk about these units here for a second. I just had the one, wasn't really planning on getting the second one, but I left my cushy stay-at-home job I had and decided to go back to work, working in the shop at Wabtec in Erie, working in the propulsion division, and kind of funny modeling a railroad that never owned a GE engine. So having the demonstrators kind of gives me a plausible way to have them on the layout. And Rapido did do a heck of a nice job on these. They're really nice. As soon as we get out of KO here, we'll stop and just take a look and talk about what I did to them, because they are definitely not stock. Alright, so I'm seeing I don't got all the lights on this one.
Night mode active.
There they are. So, looking in the cab, you can actually see the panel lit up. You know, the engineer's gauges. Has the marker lights, the number boards. Here, I'm going to turn them off, turn them on, so you can kind of see that there. And I'll do that again for the control lights in there. And cab light also can turn on and off.
Sound mode active.
All right, so I don't think it's any surprise to anybody on this channel, just a huge fan of TCS. I love TCS decoders. I'm not going to say that I think they're the best or anything like that. I'm just personally a fan. I like how they work. I like how they sound. They make sense to me. I've done probably over 100 installs at this point. I know how they work. I know their quirks. So I don't like to change. So one of these came with Loke, and one of them came straight DC. So the first one I got came straight DC because I just planned on putting TCS in it. So I slapped in the TCS 21-pin decoder, and only about half the lights came on. Ended up being very irritated between ESU and Rapido, because neither one of them could tell me what pins controlled what. So eventually I decided that I didn't need them, and just spent, I don't know, an hour with my meter and the shell off the engine on the track and figured out what all the pins did. I had to move a couple wires around on the motherboard, and then I was able to program all the lights to work with the TCS decoder just fine. Just copied that on both engines. It was actually really easy once I figured it out. When I got the other unit from Rapido that came with the Loke sound in it, all the lights didn't work on that one either. So I kind of had to fix it all anyway, and then put the TCS in it anyway. So I guess that's my only complaint on this as far as Rapido goes. I also just generally don't like their attitude. You call them and tell them you want to do a different decoder, and they basically say tough. Anyway, I also upgraded these to scale sound speakers. It's pretty much a direct replacement. I just got to solder a couple wires. Real easy. So total time to upgrade these to TCS and scale sound, really just a few hours, honestly. And I love the way they sound. Spent a couple years working at Grove City diesel engine plant, and I got to tell you that 7FDL sounds totally right. Hear that on test all the time, and pretty cool having these engines on the layout. So anybody thinking about getting these, I recommend it. They're pretty cool. All right, and then a little foreshadowing here. I am on a little bit of a demonstrator kick. I also have this Alco RS11 I'm working on. It's got some pickup issues that I got to work out, but it's going to be pretty sweet too. All right, I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, look at that old picture. This pile of stuff I got from Mark. There's a tower at KO, and it even said KO in giant letters on the side. How cool is that? Hopefully that's gonna start to look about right. We'll have to change that Atlas tower out for one that looks a little more appropriate. I think that's about everything for updates. Layout's coming along nice. I think the next plan here, this will make some people happy. I'm going to go ahead and do the cinder work and gravel work and ballast through the engine terminal here, and just kind of call the scenery done for now. Probably paint the fascia just to kind of give at least one spot on the layout a little bit of a finished look. And then we'll move on. Now, what I do from there, I've got some competing theories. There's part of me that wants to do my farm scene inside the loop here, because then like this peninsula would really be, air quotes, done. I don't know about that. I keep thinking about track work in Shenango, because it wouldn't take me a lot to get that done, and that would add a lot operationally. I think that's probably where I'm going to go. And then I could start working that scenery-wise too, really, all the way around the end. The only thing is I kind of want to do the upper deck first, just for the sake of things falling down. But I don't know, there's probably ways around that. So there's that. I got to get back to fascia work at some point. I got to put lights up at some point. I got the Allegheny Industrial District I could do. I do think this room is going to kind of continue to be the focus. And the only other thing is I'm kind of getting the itch just to build some switches. So maybe I'll work on the back half of the yard here at some point. Anyway, that's my ramblings on what might be coming next. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Hope this was a fun update. Like I said, it probably doesn't look like a lot, but man, you can't imagine how much wire I pulled to make all those panels work and then troubleshoot. But yeah, coming together though. All right. Hope everybody's enjoying the fall and looking forward to the holidays here. See everybody next time.